This short video presents a high-level overview of PRINCE2 methodology and its relationship to Agile. On this slide, we can see a complete high-level summary of the PRINCE2 methodology, bringing together all the major components that make PRINCE2 one of the world's most widely recognized project management frameworks. Starting at the top left, the overview reminds us that PRINCE2 stands for Projects in Controlled Environments. It is a structured, process-based methodology designed to ensure projects remain aligned with business objectives while maintaining governance, accountability, and control. The methodology is scalable, flexible, and suitable for projects of any size or industry. Next, we move into the 7 principles, which form the foundation of every PRINCE2 project. These principles include continued business justification, learning from experience, clearly defined roles, stage management, management by exception, focus on products, and tailoring the methodology to suit the project environment. These principles ensure that PRINCE2 remains practical, adaptable, and value-driven rather than simply process-heavy. Alongside the principles are the 7 themes, which represent the ongoing areas of project management that must be continuously monitored and controlled throughout the project lifecycle. These themes include the business case, organization, quality, plans, risk, change, and progress. Together, they provide the governance structure that ensures the project remains viable, controlled, and aligned with strategic objectives. The next section highlights the 7 processes, which describe the PRINCE2 project lifecycle from start to finish. The lifecycle begins with starting up a project and progresses through directing, initiating, controlling stages, managing product delivery, managing stage boundaries, and finally closing the project. These processes provide a structured roadmap for effective project delivery and governance. In the center of the slide, we see management products, which are the documents, records, and reports that support project communication, control, and decision-making. Examples include the business case, project initiation documentation, risk register, quality register, and highlight reports. These products ensure transparency, accountability, and traceability across the project lifecycle. The roles and governance section demonstrates another major strength of PRINCE2, its clearly defined governance model. PRINCE2 separates business, user, and supplier interests through roles such as the executive, senior user, and senior supplier within the project board. Operational delivery is then managed by the project manager and supporting teams. This structure ensures balanced decision-making, accountability, and controlled escalation. The diagram also highlights PRINCE2 and Agile, demonstrating how PRINCE2 governance can be successfully combined with Agile delivery methods such as Scrum, Kanban, Lean, and DevOps. PRINCE2 provides the structure and governance, while Agile introduces flexibility, collaboration, iterative delivery, and rapid responsiveness to change. This hybrid approach is increasingly important in digital transformation and modern technology projects. Moving further down, the slide summarizes the advantages of PRINCE2, including strong governance, scalability, systematic risk management, business alignment, clear communication, stakeholder engagement, and repeatable project success. These advantages explain why PRINCE2 is trusted globally across both public and private sectors. However, the slide also presents the limitations of PRINCE2. If applied rigidly without tailoring, PRINCE2 can become documentation-heavy or bureaucratic. It may also require experienced practitioners and organizational maturity to implement effectively. This reinforces the importance of tailoring PRINCE2 proportionately to the project environment. The certification level section outlines the professional development pathway from foundation to practitioner and advanced levels. These certifications validate knowledge, application skills, and leadership capability in project management environments. The slide also demonstrates the wide range of industries using PRINCE2, including government, healthcare, construction, finance, telecommunications, education, logistics, and energy sectors. This reflects the methodology's adaptability and global relevance. Finally, the comparison between PRINCE2, Agile, and PMBOK highlights how each framework serves different purposes. PRINCE2 focuses on governance and control, Agile prioritizes flexibility and iterative delivery, while PMBOK provides a broad body of project management knowledge and best practices. In reality, many organizations combine these approaches to create tailored delivery environments. The concluding message on this slide reinforces that PRINCE2 is not simply about process or documentation. It is fundamentally about delivering successful projects through structured governance, strategic alignment, controlled delivery, stakeholder engagement, and continuous business justification. Overall, this slide captures PRINCE2 as a complete project management ecosystem, integrating principles, governance, processes, documentation, people, and adaptability to support successful project outcomes in complex organizational environments. I will now go into the detail of each of the 13 sections on this poster, starting with the overview. PRINCE2 Overview. This slide provides a comprehensive overview of PRINCE2 projects in controlled environments and introduces the methodology as a structured framework for effective project management. Starting from the top left, PRINCE2 is defined as a globally recognized, process-based methodology that helps organizations deliver projects in a controlled and governed environment. The core purpose of PRINCE2 is not simply to complete projects, but to ensure projects deliver measurable business value, remain aligned with organizational objectives, stay within agreed tolerances, and manage risks effectively throughout the life cycle. At the center of the slide, we can see the major characteristics that define PRINCE2. First, it is structured, meaning it uses clearly defined processes, governance mechanisms, and controls. Second, it is scalable, meaning it can be adapted for both small projects and large complex programs. The methodology is also product-focused, placing strong emphasis on deliverables and outcomes rather than just activities. It is business-driven, meaning projects must maintain continuous business justification at every stage. PRINCE2 is also highly flexible, allowing integration with Agile, Lean, Scrum, Waterfall, and hybrid delivery methods. Finally, it is strongly governance-oriented, ensuring accountability, oversight, escalation routes, and decision-making structures are clearly defined. The slide also highlights the key benefits of PRINCE2, including stronger governance, improved communication, better risk and issue management, enhanced control over time, cost, and quality, and ultimately a greater probability of project success. On the right-hand side, we can see the origin and recognition of PRINCE2. The methodology was originally developed in the United Kingdom by the Central Computer and Telecommunications Agency in 1989 and has evolved into one of the world's leading project management frameworks. It is now owned and administered by PeopleCert and used internationally across both public and private sectors. The diagram also shows the wide range of environments where PRINCE2 is suitable. It can support projects of any size, predictive or agile approaches, local or international initiatives, and industries ranging from government and finance to healthcare, engineering, and digital transformation. In the center of the slide, at the heart of PRINCE2, we see the three core dimensions of the methodology: the 7 principles, the 7 themes, and the 7 processes. The principles guide behavior and decision-making. The themes address the key areas that must be continuously managed, such as risk, quality, and progress. The processes provide the structured life cycle activities that guide the project from initiation through to closure. Together, these 3 dimensions create a complete governance and delivery framework. Below that, the slide summarizes several important concepts within PRINCE2. The business case ensures the project remains worthwhile and strategically justified. Products define the outputs to be delivered. Quality ensures deliverables meet agreed standards. Risk focuses on identifying and managing uncertainty. Change controls modifications systematically, while progress measures performance against plans and tolerances. On the bottom right, the lifecycle overview illustrates the staged nature of PRINCE2 projects. The lifecycle begins with starting up a project, followed by initiating a project. The project is then delivered through controlled stages, with regular review points called stage boundaries, before formally closing the project. This staged approach improves governance, visibility, control, and decision-making throughout delivery. Finally, the slide concludes with one of the most important principles in PRINCE2: tailoring. PRINCE2 is not intended to be rigid or overly bureaucratic. Instead, it should always be adapted proportionately to the project size, complexity, risk profile, organizational maturity, and delivery environment. Overall, this slide introduces PRINCE2 as a complete project management ecosystem that combines governance, structure, adaptability, stakeholder engagement, and value delivery to support successful project outcomes across a wide variety of industries and environments. 7 Principles of PRINCE2. This slide focuses on one of the most important foundations of the PRINCE2 methodology, the 7 principles. These principles are considered the core behavioral and governance guidelines that must be present in every PRINCE2 project. They are universal, meaning they apply regardless of project size, industry complexity, or delivery method. Whether the project is traditional, agile, public sector, private sector, small, or highly complex, these principles provide the foundation for effective project management and governance. At the top of the slide, we are reminded that when all 7 principles are applied consistently, they support strong governance, effective decision-making, stakeholder confidence, and successful project outcomes aligned with business objectives. The first principle is continued business justification. This means that a project should only continue while it remains worthwhile and capable of delivering value. The business case is therefore not created once and forgotten. It must be reviewed and updated throughout the project lifecycle. If the project no longer provides sufficient value, it should be changed or stopped. This principle ensures resources are invested responsibly and strategically. The second principle is learn from experience. PRINCE2 encourages organizations and project teams to capture lessons from previous projects and apply them continuously throughout the current project. This creates a culture of continuous improvement and reduces the likelihood of repeating mistakes. Lessons learned are not just retrospective activities at project closure. They should influence decision-making throughout delivery. The third principle is define roles and responsibilities. PRINCE2 places strong emphasis on governance clarity. Everyone involved in the project must understand their responsibilities, authority levels, reporting lines, and decision-making responsibilities. Clear accountability reduces confusion, improves communication, and supports effective governance. The fourth principle is managed by stages. PRINCE2 divides projects into manageable stages with formal review points known as stage boundaries. This staged approach allows organizations to assess performance, risks, business justification, and readiness before authorizing further investment. It improves visibility, control, and strategic oversight throughout the project lifecycle. The fifth principle is managed by exception. In PRINCE2, tolerances are established for areas such as time, cost, quality, scope, risk, and benefits. As long as work remains within these agreed tolerances, the project team can operate autonomously without constant escalation. Senior management only becomes involved when exceptions occur or tolerances are forecast to be exceeded. This principle improves efficiency and empowers teams while maintaining governance control. The sixth principle is focus on products. PRINCE2 is highly product-oriented, rather than focusing primarily on activities. The methodology first defines the products or deliverables that must be created. Clear product descriptions, quality criteria, and acceptance requirements ensure that outputs meet stakeholder expectations and deliver intended benefits. This principle improves quality management and delivery clarity. The seventh and final principle is tailored to suit the project. PRINCE2 is not intended to be rigid or bureaucratic. Instead, it should always be adapted proportionately to the project's size, complexity, risk profile, organizational maturity, and delivery environment. Tailoring ensures that governance remains effective without creating unnecessary overhead or documentation. On the right-hand side of the slide, the diagram illustrates how these principles work together to support successful PRINCE2 projects. Business justification drives value. Lessons learned improve performance, governance roles support accountability. Stage management provides control. Management by exception improves efficiency. Product focus ensures quality delivery. And tailoring maintains flexibility and practicality. The key message at the bottom of the slide is extremely important. Applying all 7 principles consistently results in projects that are better governed, more adaptable, strategically aligned, and more likely to deliver measurable business value. Ultimately, the PRINCE2 principles are not simply theoretical ideas. They are practical governance behaviors that shape how successful projects are planned, controlled, delivered, and continuously improved. 7 themes of PRINCE2. This slide focuses on the 7 themes of PRINCE2, which represent the key aspects of project management that must be continuously addressed and controlled throughout the entire project lifecycle. Unlike processes which describe what activities happen and when, The themes represent the ongoing areas of governance, monitoring, decision-making, and control that must remain active from project initiation through to closure. At the top of the slide, we can see the overall purpose of the themes: to ensure that all critical areas of the project remain aligned with business objectives, stakeholder expectations, governance requirements, and delivery outcomes at all times. The themes also ensure consistent governance, early issue identification, effective control, and alignment between project delivery and organizational value. While the project manager applies the themes operationally, oversight is maintained by the project board. Let us now look at each theme individually. The first theme is business case. This is one of the most important themes in PRINCE2 because it ensures the project remains worthwhile and strategically justified throughout its lifecycle. The business case defines expected benefits, costs, risks, and investment justification. It is continuously reviewed to confirm that the project still provides value and should continue receiving organizational support and resources. The second theme is organization. This theme defines the project's governance structure, reporting relationships, responsibilities, and authority levels. It ensures that the right people are involved in decision-making and that accountability is clearly established. Governance clarity is essential for effective communication, escalation, and project control. The third theme is quality. PRINCE2 places strong emphasis on quality management to ensure that products and deliverables meet agreed standards and stakeholder expectations. This theme focuses on defining quality criteria, conducting reviews, testing outputs, and ensuring that products are fit for purpose before acceptance. The fourth theme is plans. This theme defines how the project will be delivered and controlled. Planning occurs at multiple levels, including project plans, stage plans, team plans, and exception plans. The plans theme supports resource management, scheduling, budgeting, dependency management, and delivery coordination. Effective planning provides the baseline for monitoring and governance throughout the project lifecycle. The fifth theme is risk. PRINCE2 recognizes that uncertainty exists in all projects. The risk theme ensures that risks are identified, assessed, monitored, and controlled systematically throughout delivery. Risks are evaluated in terms of probability and impact, with responses planned to reduce threats and maximize opportunities. This structured risk management approach supports proactive rather than reactive project control. The sixth theme is change. Projects rarely remain static, so PRINCE2 includes a dedicated change management team. This team controls changes to project scope, requirements, products, and plans. It ensures that change requests are evaluated systematically for their impact on time, cost, quality, risk, and business justification before approval or rejection. This protects project stability while allowing controlled adaptation when needed. The seventh and final theme is progress. This theme focuses on monitoring performance and measuring whether the project remains on track. Progress is assessed against plans, tolerances, milestones, and agreed objectives. Reporting mechanisms such as highlight reports, checkpoint reports, and exception reports provide visibility to stakeholders and governance bodies. Progress management ensures informed decision-making and timely escalation when necessary. The diagram at the bottom left of the slide reinforces an important point. The themes are applied continuously throughout every stage of the project lifecycle, from starting up a project through to project closure. They are not isolated activities that happen once. They remain active throughout delivery. In the center bottom section, the slide demonstrates how the themes work together with the PRINCE2 processes. The processes provide the structured lifecycle and activities, while the themes provide the governance, control, monitoring, and management focus needed to deliver successful outcomes. The key takeaway on the right highlights that the themes collectively ensure all critical aspects of the project are continuously controlled and aligned with business objectives. They support decision-making, risk management, quality assurance, stakeholder engagement, and successful delivery of value. Finally, the summary at the bottom captures the essence of the PRINCE2 themes very well. They define what must be managed continuously throughout the project. When applied consistently, the themes help both the project manager and the project board maintain control, manage uncertainty, and ensure the project remains aligned with organizational strategy and expected benefits. Overall, the 7 themes provide the governance backbone of PRINCE2, ensuring that projects remain controlled, transparent, accountable, and focused on delivering real business value. 7 processes of PRINCE2. This slide presents the 7 PRINCE2 processes, which together form the structured project lifecycle within the PRINCE2 methodology. The processes describe the essential activities required to manage a project from initial concept through to successful closure. They provide the operational framework that guides governance, planning, monitoring, control, delivery, and review throughout the project lifecycle. At the top right of the slide, we are reminded of the overall purpose of the PRINCE2 processes: to provide a structured lifecycle that supports effective governance, accountability, control, and successful project delivery. Let us now walk through each process in sequence. The first process is starting up a project, often abbreviated as SU. This is a pre-project process that determines whether the project is viable and worthwhile before significant investment begins. Key activities include appointing the executive and project manager, identifying initial requirements, defining project objectives, assessing feasibility, and producing the project brief. The main outcome of this process is to ensure the organization is ready to proceed with a formally initiated project. The second process is directing a project, or DP. This is the overarching governance process led by the project board. The project board provides strategic direction, approves major decisions, authorizes stages, monitors overall progress, and ensures the business case remains valid throughout the project lifecycle. Importantly, the project board does not manage daily delivery activities. Instead, it provides governance oversight and decision-making authority. The third process is initiating a project, known as IP. This process establishes the foundation for successful project delivery. During initiation, the project management approaches are defined, including risk management, quality management, communication, and change control strategies. The most important output of this process is the Project Initiation Documentation, or PID, which becomes the baseline reference document for the project. The PID defines how the project will be managed, monitored, and controlled. The fourth process is controlling a stage, abbreviated as CS. This is the project manager's primary operational management process. During this stage, work is authorized, progress is monitored, issues and risks are managed, corrective actions are implemented where necessary, and performance is reported to stakeholders and the project board. This process ensures day-to-day project activities remain aligned with plans, tolerances, and objectives. The fifth process is managing product delivery, or MP. This process focuses on the actual creation and delivery of products or deliverables by the delivery teams. Team managers accept work packages, produce outputs to agreed quality standards, monitor progress, and report performance back to the project manager. This process ensures that products are delivered on time, within scope, and at the required level of quality. The sixth process is managing a stage boundary, abbreviated as SB. This occurs at the end of each management stage. The purpose is to review stage performance, update the business case, assess risks and issues, prepare the next stage plan, and seek approval from the project board to continue. This stage gate approach improves governance, visibility, and strategic control because the organization can reassess whether the project should proceed, change direction, or stop entirely. The final process is closing a project, or CP. This process ensures that the project is formally and orderly closed. Activities include obtaining formal acceptance of products, evaluating project performance, capturing lessons learned, releasing project resources, and confirming arrangements for post-project benefits reviews. Closure ensures accountability, organizational learning, and confirmation that the project has delivered its intended outcomes. On the right-hand side of the slide, the section titled "The 7 Processes Work Together" demonstrates how the processes interact as an integrated lifecycle. Directing a project operates continuously across the entire project, providing governance oversight. Starting up a project and initiating a project establish the foundation and management baseline. Controlling a stage and managing product delivery manage operational delivery activities. Managing a stage boundary reviews progress and prepares for the next phase, while closing a project ensures controlled completion and benefits realization. At the bottom of the slide, the lifecycle overview visually reinforces the staged nature of PRINCE2 delivery. This staged approach is one of PRINCE2's strongest governance features because it creates formal decision points, improves risk management, and maintains alignment between project delivery and organizational objectives. The key takeaway highlighted on the slide is extremely important. The PRINCE2 processes provide a clear and structured lifecycle for managing projects from idea to successful completion while ensuring governance, control, quality assurance, and delivery of expected benefits. Ultimately, the PRINCE2 processes transform project management from an informal activity into a controlled governance system that improves accountability, predictability, stakeholder confidence, and successful delivery outcomes. PRINCE2 management products. This slide focuses on one of the most important operational areas within PRINCE2, the management products. Management products are the documents, records, and reports used throughout the project lifecycle to support governance, communication, planning, monitoring, decision-making, and control. In simple terms, management products are the information tools that help everyone understand what is happening, what has been completed, what risks or issues exist, what decisions need to be made, and whether the project remains on track. At the top of the slide, we can see that PRINCE2 management products are directly linked to the 7 PRINCE2 processes. This means they are created, updated, reviewed, and used continuously throughout the project lifecycle, not just once at the beginning. The slide begins on the left-hand side by grouping management products into 3 categories. The first category is documents. These provide structured information about how the project will be managed. Examples include the business case, project initiation documentation, and project plans. These documents establish governance, objectives, delivery approaches, and control mechanisms. The second category is records. Records capture information about what is happening during the project. Examples include the risk register, issue register, quality register, and change control records. These records help monitor risks, problems, quality performance, and approve changes throughout delivery. The third category is reports. Reports communicate performance and progress information to stakeholders and governance bodies. Examples include highlight reports, checkpoint reports, and end-stage reports. These reports ensure transparency, visibility, and informed decision-making. The center of the slide presents a matrix that connects the management products to the 7 PRINCE2 processes. This is extremely important because it demonstrates how information flows across the project lifecycle. Let us now examine some of the key management products shown in the matrix. The business case is one of the most important management products in PRINCE2. It explains why the project exists and justifies the investment. It is first developed during starting up a project, reviewed during initiating a project, monitored throughout delivery, updated at stage boundaries, and finally reviewed during project closure to confirm whether expected benefits were achieved. This directly supports the PRINCE2 principle of continued business justification. The project initiation documentation, or PID, is created during initiating a project. It acts as the master governance document for the project. The PID defines the project scope, governance structure, risk management approaches, quality management approaches, communication strategies, and overall delivery baselines. Without the PID, the project would lack structure, clarity, and formal governance control. The project plan and stage plans provide the roadmap for delivery. The project plan defines the overall project timeline and objectives, while stage plans provide detailed planning for individual phases or stages. These plans are reviewed and updated continuously during delivery and stage boundary reviews. Next, we have the risk register. This record captures identified risks, their probability, impact, owners, and response strategies. PRINCE2 treats risk management as an ongoing activity, meaning risks are identified, monitored, escalated, and controlled continuously throughout the project lifecycle. The issue register captures project issues such as delays, technical problems, resource shortages, or stakeholder concerns. By formally documenting issues, the project manager can ensure they are tracked, prioritized, resolved, or escalated appropriately. The quality register records quality requirements, testing activities, review outcomes, and quality approvals. This helps ensure that project products meet agreed standards and stakeholder expectations before acceptance. The slide also highlights change control records, which support controlled change management. Since projects often experience changing requirements, PRINCE2 ensures that proposed changes are formally assessed for their impact on time, cost, quality, scope, risk, and business justification before approval. Further down the slide, we see the project reporting products. Highlight reports are regular summary reports produced by the project manager for the project board. They provide visibility into project progress, risks, costs, and overall status. Checkpoint reports provide detailed operational progress updates from delivery teams to the project manager. End-stage reports are produced at the end of each stage to review performance, assess lessons learned, and support decisions about whether the project should continue to the next stage. The lessons report captures knowledge gained during the project so future projects can improve performance and avoid repeating mistakes. This supports the PRINCE2 principle of learning from experience. The benefits review plan explains how and when project benefits will be measured after delivery. PRINCE2 does not simply focus on completing activities, it focuses on ensuring that projects deliver real business value and measurable organizational benefits. At the bottom of the slide, allow to read this matrix section explains that colored dots indicate the main processes where each management product is created, used, updated, reviewed, or monitored. This demonstrates that management products are living documents rather than static paperwork. They evolve throughout the project lifecycle as the project progresses and changes. The example shown for the project plan clearly illustrates this lifecycle. It is created during initiating a project, approved during directing a project, used and updated during controlling a stage, and reviewed again during managing a stage boundary. This continuous information flow is one of PRINCE2's major strengths because it supports strong governance, accountability, transparency, and informed decision-making. The key takeaway on the right-hand side summarizes this perfectly. Management products provide the right information to the right people at the right time, enabling effective governance, control, quality management, and successful delivery of project outcomes and benefits. Overall, this slide demonstrates that PRINCE2 management products are not simply documents for paperwork purposes. They are essential governance tools that support communication, risk management, planning, control, accountability, and successful project delivery throughout the entire project lifecycle. PRINCE2 roles and responsibilities. This slide focuses on one of the strongest features of PRINCE2, its clear governance structure and well-defined roles and responsibilities. In large projects, confusion often happens when people do not know who makes decisions, who approves what, who manages delivery, or who is responsible when problems occur. PRINCE2 solves this problem by creating a structured governance model that clearly separates responsibilities and authority levels throughout the project lifecycle. At the very top of the slide, the key purpose explains this clearly. PRINCE2 governance defines who is responsible for what, who makes decisions, and how the project is controlled from beginning to end. Starting on the left-hand side, we can see the PRINCE2 governance model. PRINCE2 separates the project into three major interests: business interests, user interests, and supplier interests. This separation is extremely important because successful projects must balance organizational goals, user needs, and delivery capability. The business interests are represented by the executive. The executive ensures the project delivers value and aligns with strategic objectives. The user interests are represented by the senior user. This role ensures the project products meet user needs and deliver expected benefits. The supplier interests are represented by the senior supplier. This role ensures the solution can actually be delivered using available technical expertise, suppliers, and resources. Together, these three roles form the project board, shown in the center of the slide. The project board is accountable for the overall success of the project. It provides strategic direction, approves major decisions, resolves escalated issues, and ensures the project remains aligned with business objectives. Let us now look at each project board role individually. The first role is the executive. The executive represents the business and has overall accountability for project success. This person ensures the project remains worthwhile, approves stages, secures resources, chairs the project board, and ensures the project delivers value and benefits. The executive is ultimately accountable for the business case and project outcomes. Next is the senior user. The senior user represents the people who will actually use the project products or systems. In our healthcare digital transformation example, this could be doctors, nurses, clinical staff, or patients. The senior user ensures requirements are correct, validates acceptance criteria, and champions user adoption. Their focus is making sure the solution is useful and delivers expected benefits. The third project board role is the senior supplier. This role represents the technical delivery side of the project. The senior supplier ensures the solution is technically achievable, suppliers perform effectively, and commitments can realistically be delivered. This role advises on technical approaches, risks, and delivery capability. On the right-hand side, the slide lists the key responsibilities of the project board. These include approving the PID, authorizing stages, reviewing progress, managing escalated risks, ensuring the business case remains valid, and authorizing project closure. Importantly, the project board does not manage day-to-day delivery activities. Instead, it provides governance oversight and strategic decision-making. Moving down to the middle section of the slide, we now see the project management team, which handles operational delivery. The central role here is the project manager. The project manager is responsible for day-to-day management of the project. This includes planning work, monitoring progress, managing risks, managing issues and changes, reporting performance, and escalating exceptions when necessary. The project manager acts as the bridge between governance and operational delivery. Next are the team managers. These individuals manage the technical delivery teams that actually produce the products and deliverables. Team managers accept work packages, allocate tasks, monitor team performance, and report progress back to the project manager. The third role here is project assurance. This is an independent governance and quality oversight role. Project assurance checks that the project is being managed correctly, governance rules are followed, risks are controlled, and quality standards are maintained. This independent assurance helps improve accountability, transparency, and confidence in project delivery. On the right-hand side, the reporting and escalation diagram shows how communication flows through the governance structure. The project board provides direction to the project manager. The project manager coordinates team managers and delivery teams. Delivery teams report progress upward, while exceptions are escalated upward when tolerances are forecast to be exceeded. This reporting structure is closely linked to the PRINCE2 principle called Manage by Exception. This means delivery teams manage operational work, the project manager manages within agreed tolerances, and the project board only becomes involved when exceptions or major issues occur. This improves efficiency because senior leaders are not overloaded with operational details unless intervention is necessary. At the bottom left, the role responsibility summary reinforces the accountability structure. Each role has clearly defined responsibilities, reducing confusion and duplication of effort. The center bottom section highlights the key principles of good governance within PRINCE2: accountability, balanced decision-making, transparency, control, and value focus. These governance principles help ensure projects remain aligned with organizational strategy while managing risks and maintaining stakeholder confidence. Finally, the key takeaway on the bottom right summarizes the overall purpose of PRINCE2 governance very well. PRINCE2 creates a structured framework for decision-making, accountability, communication, and control. By separating business, user, and supplier interests and clearly defining responsibilities, PRINCE2 supports well-governed projects with stronger oversight, better risk management, and improved delivery outcomes. The final reminder at the bottom of the slide is especially important. Successful projects are not only about processes, they are about people, accountability, communication, and leadership. Overall, this slide demonstrates how PRINCE2 governance provides the organizational structure that allows complex projects to operate in a controlled, transparent, and strategically aligned manner from beginning to end. PRINCE2 and Agile. This slide explains how PRINCE2 and Agile work together to create a balanced and flexible approach to project management. Traditionally, some organizations believed they had to choose between PRINCE2, which focuses on governance and control, or Agile, which focuses on flexibility and rapid delivery. However, PRINCE2 Agile combines the strengths of both approaches so organizations can achieve strong governance while still remaining adaptable and responsive to change. At the top of the slide, the key purpose explains this clearly. The goal is to help organizations deliver value faster, respond quickly to change, and still maintain effective governance and control. Starting on the left-hand side, the slide explains what PRINCE2 Agile is. PRINCE2 Agile is an official framework that integrates the governance and structure of PRINCE2 with Agile delivery approaches. The Venn diagram illustrates this integration very well. PRINCE2 contributes governance, structure, control, accountability, and business justification. Agile contributes flexibility, collaboration, iterative delivery, customer focus, and adaptability. When combined together, the result is PRINCE2 Agile, which aims to create better project outcomes by balancing control with responsiveness. This is extremely important in modern digital transformation projects because organizations must remain innovative and responsive while still controlling risks, budgets, quality, and governance requirements. Moving to the center of the slide, we see how PRINCE2 and Agile work together. PRINCE2 provides what the project is trying to achieve and why it matters. This includes defining outcomes, maintaining governance, managing risks, and ensuring accountability. Agile provides how the work is delivered. Agile teams work in short iterations, gather continuous feedback, focus on customer value, and adapt quickly to changing needs. The central circular diagram highlights the idea of an integrated approach. Together, PRINCE2 and Agile create what is often called of-ground agility, meaning projects remain flexible but still operate within clear governance boundaries. This allows organizations to deliver valuable products frequently while maintaining visibility, accountability, and strategic alignment. On the right-hand side, the slide introduces several common Agile methods that can work within PRINCE2 governance. The first is Scrum, which uses short-time box development cycles called sprints. Scrum focuses on teamwork, iterative delivery, and regular reviews. The second is Kanban, which uses visual workflow management to improve efficiency and control work in progress. The third is Lean, which focuses on reducing waste and improving value delivery. The fourth is Extreme Programming, often called XPP, which emphasizes engineering practices such as continuous integration and test-driven development. The important message here is that PRINCE2 governance can support many different Agile delivery methods depending on the project environment and organizational needs. The section titled Where PRINCE2 and Agile Interact explains how governance and Agile practices operate at different levels of the organization. At the higher governance levels, the project board, project manager, and team managers maintain oversight, risk control, planning, reporting, and decision-making. At the delivery level, Agile teams work iteratively, collaborate closely, deliver increments frequently, and continuously improve products based on feedback. This means PRINCE2 governs the project, while Agile drives the delivery activities. The center-bottom section illustrates a typical PRINCE2 Agile lifecycle. The project still follows the PRINCE2 stages: starting up a project, initiating a project, controlling stages, managing stage boundaries, and closing a project. However, within each stage, Agile iterations take place. The teams repeatedly plan, design, build, test, and review products in short cycles. This allows delivery to happen incrementally rather than waiting until the very end of the project to see results. One of the most important concepts shown here is that stages provide governance boundaries, while Agile iterations provide delivery flexibility. On the right-hand side, the slide highlights the key benefits of PRINCE2 Agile. These benefits include better business alignment, faster time to value, improved flexibility, stronger risk management, improved stakeholder engagement, and higher quality outcomes. This combination is especially valuable in digital transformation environments where customer needs, technology, and market conditions can change rapidly. The slide also identifies important key considerations for success. These include strong leadership support, tailoring PRINCE2 appropriately, building the right Agile mindset, maintaining communication, and continuously reviewing and improving delivery practices. Finally, the key takeaway summarizes the overall message of the slide very clearly. PRINCE2 and Agile together create a balanced approach. PRINCE2 provides governance, structure, accountability, and control, while Agile provides flexibility, responsiveness, collaboration, and rapid delivery. Together, they enable organizations to deliver the right products at the right time, with confidence and strong governance. The reminder at the bottom reinforces this final idea. PRINCE2 provides the framework for governance and management, while Agile provides the techniques for iterative delivery and continuous improvement. When used together properly, they help organizations achieve successful, adaptable, and value-driven project outcomes in fast-changing environments. Advantages of PRINCE2. This slide explains why so many organizations and project professionals around the world choose PRINCE2 as their preferred project management methodology. At the very top of the slide, we can see the overall message clearly. PRINCE2 is considered a best practice project management framework because it helps organizations deliver projects on time, within budget, to the required quality, and aligned with business objectives. The slide also highlights some of the proven benefits of PRINCE2, including better decision-making, stronger control, low risk, high value, and greater project success. Let us now explore the main advantages one by one. The first advantage is clear structure and governance. PRINCE2 provides a very organized framework for managing projects. Everyone knows who's responsible for what, who makes decisions, how reporting works, and how the project is controlled. This structured governance model improves accountability, transparency, and decision-making throughout the project lifecycle. Without structure, projects can easily become chaotic, with unclear responsibilities and poor communication. PRINCE2 helps prevent this by providing clear control mechanisms and governance boundaries. The second advantage is focus on business value. PRINCE2 constantly asks an important question. Is this project still worthwhile? The business case remains central throughout the entire project lifecycle. This ensures the organization continues investing only in projects that deliver real value and measurable benefits. Rather than simply completing activities, PRINCE2 focuses on delivering outcomes that support organizational strategy and business objectives. The third advantage is managed by stages. PRINCE2 divides projects into manageable stages, each with review points and decision gates. This staged approach improves control because the organization can review progress regularly, assess risks, update plans, and decide whether to continue, revise, or stop the project. Breaking projects into stages also reduces complexity and improves predictability, especially in large transformation programs. The fourth advantage is focus on risks. PRINCE2 embeds proactive risk management throughout the entire project lifecycle. Risks are identified, assessed, monitored, controlled, and escalated when necessary. This helps reduce the likelihood and impact of problems before they become major issues. In complex projects such as digital transformation, healthcare, construction, or cybersecurity programs, this structured risk management approach is extremely valuable. The fifth advantage is defined roles and responsibilities. One of the biggest causes of project failure is confusion about accountability. PRINCE2 solves this by clearly defining governance roles, reporting lines, authority levels, and responsibilities. Everyone involved understands their role within the project structure. This improves collaboration, communication, accountability, and team performance. The sixth advantage is that PRINCE2 is adaptable and scalable. PRINCE2 is not a rigid one-size-fits-all methodology. It can be tailored to small projects, large programs, agile environments, traditional environments, public sector organizations, or private sector organizations. This flexibility allows PRINCE2 to work effectively across many industries, delivery approaches, and organizational cultures. The seventh advantage is improved communication and stakeholder engagement. PRINCE2 uses structured communication, regular reporting, and defined governance meetings to ensure stakeholders remain informed throughout the project lifecycle. This improves transparency, trust, stakeholder confidence, and user engagement. Good communication is essential because projects often fail when stakeholders are disconnected, confused, or resistant to change. The eighth advantage is consistent, repeatable success. PRINCE2 uses proven best practices and a common project management language. Because projects follow structured governance, lessons learned can be reused across future projects. Over time, this helps organizations improve project maturity, efficiency, quality, and long-term success rates. At the bottom left of the slide, additional advantages are highlighted. These include stronger control of scope, time, cost, and quality, improved documentation and information management, support for compliance and regulatory requirements, increased likelihood of project success, and international recognition. In the center bottom section, the slide summarizes the result of using PRINCE2 effectively. Projects become aligned with business objectives, well-governed and controlled, delivered on time and within budget, and focused on measurable benefits and stakeholder satisfaction. This ultimately leads to successful projects delivering real organizational value. The key takeaway on the right-hand side summarizes the slide very clearly. PRINCE2 provides the framework, structure, governance, and control needed to deliver successful projects that create value and support organizational goals. Finally, the statement at the bottom reinforces the overall message. PRINCE2 improves decision-making, governance, risk management, and value delivery across projects. Overall, this slide demonstrates that PRINCE2 is much more than a set of project processes. It is a complete governance and delivery framework that helps organizations improve control, reduce risk, enhance communication, and consistently deliver successful project outcomes. Limitations of PRINCE2. This slide explores the limitations and challenges of PRINCE2. Although PRINCE2 is a very powerful and globally recognized project management framework, it is important to understand that no methodology is perfect for every situation. At the top right of the slide, the key message explains this clearly. PRINCE2 is flexible and proven, but it is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Organizations must understand its limitations, tailor it appropriately, and combine it with other approaches when necessary. Understanding these limitations is very important because successful project management is not about following rules blindly. It is about applying methods intelligently based on the project environment. Let us now examine each limitation in detail. The first limitation is that PRINCE2 can be perceived as bureaucratic and document-heavy. PRINCE2 uses many documents, reports, governance processes, and approval structures. In large projects, this level of governance can be very useful. However, in smaller projects, it can sometimes feel slow, administrative, or overly complicated. If PRINCE2 is applied too rigidly, teams may spend too much time producing documents instead of delivering value. This can lead to slower decision-making, reduced agility, and unnecessary administration. That is why tailoring is so important in PRINCE2. The second limitation is that PRINCE2 is not prescriptive on how to do the work. PRINCE2 explains how to govern and manage projects, but it does not provide detailed technical guidance on how to build products or complete specialist tasks. For example, PRINCE2 can manage a software project, but it does not explain how to write computer code. Because of this, organizations often combine PRINCE2 with Agile, Scrum, Lean, DevOps, engineering methods, or technical delivery frameworks. The third limitation is that PRINCE2 can be too rigid if applied without tailoring. If every process, document, and governance activity is applied exactly the same way to every project, PRINCE2 can become over-engineered. This can increase project costs, delays, administration, and frustration within teams. PRINCE2 itself actually encourages tailoring, but inexperienced organizations sometimes apply it too mechanically instead of proportionately. The fourth limitation is that PRINCE2 may be less suitable for highly dynamic environments if used alone. PRINCE2 was originally designed for relatively controlled environments where requirements remain more stable. In very fast-changing industries, such as digital startups, highly innovative technology environments, or rapidly evolving customer markets, traditional PRINCE2 approaches may struggle unless combined with agile methods. Without adaptation, governance processes may slow responsiveness and innovation. The fifth limitation is that PRINCE2 requires skilled people and organizational maturity. PRINCE2 works best when leaders understand governance, teams understand their responsibilities, communication is strong, and the organization supports structured project delivery. Without proper capability, training, and leadership support, PRINCE2 can become what people call a tick box exercise, where teams follow processes mechanically without understanding their purpose. The sixth limitation is limited guidance on innovation and creativity. PRINCE2 focuses heavily on governance, control, planning, and risk management. While these are important, highly creative or experimental projects may require more flexibility and freedom than PRINCE2 alone naturally encourages. This is another reason why organizations often combine PRINCE2 with agile and innovation-focused approaches. The seventh limitation is that the overhead may not be justified for small projects. For very small or simple projects, the governance effort, reporting, and documentation requirements may outweigh the benefits. For example, using full PRINCE2 governance for a very small internal task could create unnecessary complexity and reduce efficiency. Again, tailoring is essential to ensure proportionality. The eighth limitation is the cost of training and implementation. Organizations often need to invest in PRINCE2 training, certification, coaching, governance tools, and change management activities. For smaller organizations, these initial costs can feel significant. especially if project management maturity is still developing. The ninth limitation is the risk of focusing on compliance over outcomes. Sometimes teams become too focused on following the process, completing documents, and satisfying governance requirements, instead of focusing on delivering real value and customer outcomes. This can create a tick box mentality, where governance becomes more important than innovation, stakeholder satisfaction, or business benefits. The 10th limitation is the integration effort required with other approaches. Modern organizations rarely use PRINCE2 completely alone. Instead, they often combine it with Agile, Lean, DevOps, Scrum, ITIL, or engineering frameworks. Blending these approaches successfully requires careful planning and strong leadership to avoid duplication, confusion, or conflicting processes. At the bottom left of the slide, we can see the possible overall impacts if these limitations are not addressed properly. These impacts include increased cost and time, reduced responsiveness, poor stakeholder satisfaction, low team engagement, ineffective decision-making, and focusing too much on process instead of value. However, the good news is shown in the center bottom section of the slide. Many of these limitations can be mitigated successfully. The slide recommends tailoring PRINCE2 proportionately, combining it with Agile or Lean where appropriate, investing in training and leadership capability, focusing on outcomes and benefits rather than paperwork, and maintaining strong communication and stakeholder engagement. These mitigation strategies help organizations gain the strengths of PRINCE2 without becoming trapped by unnecessary bureaucracy or rigidity. Finally, the key takeaway on the right-hand side summarizes the most important message of this slide. PRINCE2 is a powerful framework for governance and control, but it is not a magic solution for every project. Its success depends on intelligent application, proportional tailoring, skilled people, strong leadership, and combining it with the right supporting approaches when necessary. The reminder at the bottom captures this perfectly. No methodology works perfectly in every situation. The real skill lies in understanding limitations, adapting intelligently, and always focusing on delivering value. Overall, this slide teaches an extremely important lesson. Good project management is not about blindly following processes, it is about balancing governance, flexibility, people, and outcomes to achieve successful delivery. PRINCE2 certification levels. PRINCE2 certification provides a progressive pathway for developing project management capability. The foundation level introduces the core principles, themes, and processes of PRINCE2. The practitioner level focuses on applying and tailoring PRINCE2 in real project environments. Advanced certifications such as professional and master validate deeper leadership capability and strategic application in complex environments. These certifications are internationally recognized and valued across industries because they demonstrate structured governance knowledge, practical project skills, and delivery competence. Typical industries using PRINCE2. PRINCE2 is widely used across both public and private sectors because of its flexibility and scalability. Government and public sector organizations use it for policy delivery, digital transformation, and infrastructure programs. In it and telecommunications, it supports system implementation, software development, and cybersecurity initiatives. Construction, engineering, healthcare, finance, education, retail, transport, and energy sectors also apply PRINCE2 extensively. Its structured governance, strong risk management, and adaptability make it suitable for projects ranging from local operational improvements to large international transformation programs. PRINCE2 versus Agile versus Project Management Body of Knowledge. This comparison highlights the different strengths of PRINCE2, Agile, and PMBOK. PRINCE2 is governance-focused and process-driven, making it highly effective for controlled environments requiring accountability and stage management. Agile prioritizes flexibility, rapid delivery, collaboration, and continuous customer feedback. PMBOK, developed by the Project Management Institute, acts more as a body of knowledge and best practice reference framework rather than a strict methodology. In practice, many organizations combine these approaches, using PRINCE2 for governance, Agile for delivery, and PMBOK for knowledge guidance and tools. In conclusion, PRINCE2 remains one of the world's leading project management methodologies because it combines structure, governance, adaptability, and value delivery. Its principles, themes, processes, roles, and management products work together to ensure projects remain controlled, strategically aligned, and outcome-focused. The methodology supports organizations in managing complexity, reducing risk, engaging stakeholders, and delivering measurable benefits. Importantly, PRINCE2 is not simply about documentation or control, it is about enabling successful project outcomes through effective governance and intelligent management. When tailored appropriately and combined with modern delivery approaches such as Agile, PRINCE2 provides a powerful framework for delivering sustainable project success. So, PRINCE2 provides more than just a project management methodology. It offers a governance framework for delivering value in complex environments. Its structured yet flexible approach enables organizations to balance control with adaptability, ensuring projects remain aligned with strategic objectives while responding effectively to change. Across industries and sectors, PRINCE2 continues to support successful transformation, innovation, and operational excellence. Ultimately, successful projects do not happen by chance. They require clear governance, defined responsibilities, effective communication, controlled delivery, and continuous focus on business value, all of which are embedded within PRINCE2.